When Luke Skywalker defeated his own father, Darth Vader, aboard the second Death Star in Return of the Jedi, Luke would renounce the dark side, and Palpatine would go on to unleash a fury of Sith lightning upon Skywalker as Vader watched. Unable to let the Emperor kill his own son, Anakin would turn back to the light side and be redeemed, while also fulfilling the Chosen One prophecy. Anakin would betray the Emperor and save his son Luke. But have you ever wondered what Vader was thinking right before he turned back to the light side and grabbed the Emperor as he was about to kill Luke? The answer to this question is shown in the canon book, Skywalker, A Family at War. Let's get right into it. The savageness of Luke's attack surprised Vader, who was unprepared for Luke's explosive reaction. He pushed Vader backward and forced him into submission, raining a barrage of hacking slashes down on the cowering Sith Lord. Vader tried to defend himself, but one of Luke's powerful blows landed on Vader's wrist, severing the complex system of metal and wiring that allowed him to grip his weapon. Palpatine was able to recognize the spirit of his prized pupil Anakin Skywalker, reborn in his son Luke. Luke recognized it himself in Vader's defeat, but instead of following his father's brutal descent into darkness, Luke snapped out of his murderous trance, rejecting what he was in danger of becoming. Luke Skywalker was not so far gone that he could not turn back to the light. He had given in to hate, but it did not have to dominate his next decision. So in keeping with the principles of the Jedi, in the face of evil, Luke showed mercy. He lowered his weapon. Luke refused to kill his father, Darth Vader. Neither Palpatine nor Vader were prepared for this turn of events. Palpatine naturally saw Luke's refusal to dispatch Vader as weakness and unleashed his dark lightning, sending an agonizing current ripping through Luke's body. Vader watched as the bright lightning reflected off his mask. How often had Vader been on the receiving end of Palpatine's wrath during their many years as master and apprentice? Vader had lost count. Each attack had made him feel more powerless, more helpless, and more weak, thus even more a slave to Palpatine's whims. The only way to avoid such persecution was to do his master's bidding. And even when he did so, Vader realized he was at best rebuilt and at worst replaceable. There was no real trust between Vader and Palpatine, no sense of equality, and certainly no love. Palpatine had created him, named him, and controlled him, refusing to allow him any connection to the man he had been, the Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker. As he sensed the danger of the humanity Vader had repressed, any small hint of Anakin Skywalker and Vader was met with pain. Darth Vader was made to serve or suffer. The good in him was suppressed by Palpatine's manipulations. The dark side of the Force demanded unquestioning loyalty and servitude, and Vader had done his best to satisfy both requirements. Yet still, Palpatine had treated him as nothing more than a weapon, and for more than 20 years, Vader had submitted to Palpatine, too damaged to defy him. But Luke, his son, offered a different choice. Luke had surrendered himself, faced down the Emperor, and even resisted the power of the dark side. He had spared Vader's life when it was his for the taking, and in doing so, Luke had paid the price. Another Skywalker made to endure Palpatine's tortures. Vader had thought that his allegiance to the Sith would make him stronger and more powerful, but Palpatine was like a creeping disease, infecting everything he touched. The Sith Lord had enforced Vader's loyalty through fear, pain, and cruelty. Anakin then realized he still had the ability to make a choice, his own choice, and in that exact moment, he chose his son. As Palpatine continued to unleash crackling jolts of dark lightning upon Luke, Vader seized the Emperor, and fighting through the energy blast penetrating his cybernetic suit, hurled his master down the Death Star's bottomless reactor shaft. Anakin Skywalker was 45 years old when he was able to finally fulfill the ancient Jedi prophecy of the Chosen One. By returning to the light side and helping his son vanquish the vile Sith Lord, Balance was finally restored in the Force by helping his father turn back toward the light, offering him unconditional love. Luke had attained what his father and the entire Jedi Order, twisted by the Clone Wars, could not achieve. By refusing to fight, to destroy, to let anger eclipse the good in his heart, he had forgiven a monster and revealed a man. In Anakin's final moments, he crumpled beneath the weight of his suit, which was no longer able to assist his breathing. Luke gently removed Vader's helmet to reveal Anakin's pale, disfigured face, and found to his surprise that Anakin was smiling. At the end of his days, in the living Force, Anakin Skywalker was cradled by his own son. The body of the redeemed warrior was given a hero's funeral, but his spirit passed on, becoming part of the energy binding the galaxy. And it was Luke Skywalker who had glimpsed Anakin Skywalker's return to the cosmic force, a vision of Anakin at his best, a young man who was one of the greatest of all Jedi Knights, in harmony with his two greatest teachers, Master Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and learned something new, please like and subscribe. And remember, the Force will be with you, always.